Nigeria, jaga, jaga. Everything scatter, scatter. Come on, they suffer.
Anyone who knows not where the rain starts to beat him will never know where it stopped. The Nigeria 1999 Constitution is the poison pill killing Nigerians every day, bit by bit. Because inside this Nigeria 1999 Constitution, there are 68 federal exclusive items holding the key to our development and progress in Nigeria. And the Fulani-led federal government has deliberately denied Nigerians progress via the power of that 1999 Constitution. For instance, in the 68 items on that exclusive list, the federal government holds the exclusive right to provide the people with quality electricity, water, good roads, good health care, and schools. But in all of this, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the federal government has woefully failed us. Taking down that evil book of Lucifer is the key to our development and progress. It is either we turn off the tap from which the polluted water of bad governance runs, or we continue to mope in silence forever. Taking down the 1999 Constitution is a task that must be done. So come on, join hands now with the Alliance Partners for the Movement of a New Nigeria, MNN, to kill the Nigerian 1999 Constitution.
Nigeria, jaga, jaga. Everything scatter, scatter. Come on, they suffer. Bossa, bossa.
This message is brought to you by the Voice of Liberty International.
Why you must go? Why you must go?
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
I still have to greet you, whatever I do. I still have to say hello to you guys. No matter how hungry, no matter how uncomfortable I am, no matter how bad the situation of things is, I believe I still owe you a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, so that it doesn't look as if I'm taking up the whole thing on you guys. Welcome to the show tonight. The title of the show, Owners and Victims of Nigeria, a peep in British dark archives. It might probably be self-explanatory, and I don't think it's self-explanatory enough for me not to say anything about it, for me not to go and rank on about it a little bit, for me not to give you a little bit more information about it, for me not to talk about it. I have to talk about it. No matter what I do, I still have to talk about it. What happened why I'm hungry is because I'm hungry. While I feel the way I feel is because I feel the way I feel. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and hello to all of you. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ti àṣálẹ́ nítorí pé bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé nǹkan ò lọ déédé nítorí àwọn nǹkan tí mo gbọ́ àti àwọn nǹkan tí mo wò tó jẹ́ nǹkan tó bà mí lọ́kàn jẹ́. Síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ mi ní anything ju pé kí n ṣe ẹ̀nẹ́mẹ̀hún sí gbogbo yín nítorí pé tí mi ò bá ṣe ẹ̀nẹ́mẹ̀hún bígbà tí mo wọlé tí mi kágò ni wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé ewúrẹ́ tó wọlé tí ò kágò ó dohun àmúso nítorí kémi bá máa dohun àmúso ni mo ṣe kí onílé tí mo kí àlejò, mo kí ọkùnrin, mo kí obìnrin, mo kí ará mi, mo kí ẹni tí ò fẹ́ràn mi pàápàá torí kì í ṣe dandan ní kẹ́ fẹ́ràn mi kẹ́ tó gbọ́ nǹkan tí mo ń sọ. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ lálẹ́ kì í ṣe nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi ṣùgbọ́n nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tiwa tó jẹ wá lógún díẹ̀ ju bí a ṣe lérò lọ. Mo bẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ ìyá mi lọ́kùnrin àti ní obìnrin, lọ́mọdé àti lágbà ní gbogbo bíbẹ́ ẹ bá ti wò mí ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, ẹ bá mi pè onílé, ẹ bá mi pè àlejò wípé ohun tá a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí láṣálẹ́ yìí ó pọ̀ jọjọ, ó jẹ wá lógún, ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo yín kí ẹ jọ kẹ́ bá mi wá nǹkan fìdílé kí ẹ lè gbọ́ yéké nítorí ohun tó máa ṣe ọkùnrin ọmọdé àti àgbàlagbà láǹfààní ni ohun tí mo gbé dé, òun ni ohun tí mo mú wá, ohun tí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé èmi nìkan ni mo ṣe wà lórí ìjókòó báyìí, oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ni màá ṣe àlàyé ẹ̀ ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ fún wa kí a lè gbọ́ ní àkàyé. Mo ń gbọ́ yín o, mo ń gbọ́ yín dáadáa. Oríṣiríṣi ohun ni mo mú wá ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, mo ń gbọ́ yín tí a lè ṣe àkàyé ẹ̀ ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́. Nítorí ìdí èyí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi pín ètò náà gbogbo ibi tó yẹ kó débẹ̀, gbogbo ẹni tó yẹ kó mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ kó mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí ọkùnrin mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kóbìnrin mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kọ́mọdé mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí àlejò mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí onílé mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, pàápàá ọkùnrin àti gbogbo ọ̀tọ̀kùnúùlú ni mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa ohun tí mo gbé wá ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, nítorí pé ohun tó máa ṣe wá ní àǹfààní ni. Nítorí pé tí a bá mọ̀ nípa ohun tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa rí àbí ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí, á dàbí pé ó máa jẹ́ kí nǹkan lọ déédéé fún wa. Ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá mọ̀ nípa ohun tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí àti ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, a ní mọ ìgbésẹ̀ tó yẹ ká gbé. Ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa mọ ìgbésẹ̀ tó yẹ ká gbé, nítorí pé nígbà tá a bá mọ ìgbésẹ̀ tó yẹ ká gbé, la máa mọ ọ̀nà tá a máa gbà láti yọ ara wa kúrò nínú gbogbo làásìgbò tí a kó ara wa sí. Nítorí pé tí ò bá tí yé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀, àwa nù làásìgbò. Tí ò bá tí yé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀, làásìgbò díẹ̀ kọ́, làásìgbò ńlá gbáà ni. Làásìgbò tó jẹ́ pé ó máa jẹ́ nǹkan tó rọrùn tí gbogbo wa bá mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, nítorí pé ó máa ṣe ọkùnrin láǹfààní, ó máa ṣe onílé láǹfààní, ó máa ṣe àlejò láǹfààní, ó máa ṣe gbogbo èèyàn pátá ló máa ṣe láǹfààní. Arákùnrin kan tí à ń pè ní Tony Nnamdi, òun ni a fẹ́ wo àwọn nǹkan tó yà fún wa láti wò. Àwọn nǹkan tó dẹ̀ yà fún wa yìí, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mú kálámù yín àbí gègé yín, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mú sí ìtòsí. Ìtòsí tẹ́ bá mú kálámù àti gègé yín sí yìí, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mú ìwé pélébé pẹ̀lú rẹ̀. Nítorí pé tí ẹ bá kọ nǹkan sílẹ̀ ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan lẹ lè má mọ bó ṣe jẹ́ mọ́ nígbà tí ó bá yá. Ṣùgbọ́n a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba tó ní ohun gbogbo tó dára ní ìkáwọ́ pé ẹ ní àǹfààní láti tún ètò yìí wò nígbàkúgbà tó bá wù yín. Ètò tòní ó wá pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ fún àjàgbara, pàápàá Koiki Media, Crystal African Television, Citizen AY, Mayegun, Gbedu, Baba Aropoere, Adéjọkẹ́ Ẹ̀mọ́ba, Lady B, Ìbílẹ̀ rédíò, gbogbo wa pátápátá la ní ètò tòní. Nítorí ìdí èyí, ibikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń wo ètò ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi ju ọwọ́ lu ojú ìwòran ojú ìkànnà tí ẹ bá ti ń wo ètò ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, nítorí pé ètò ti àṣálẹ́ yìí ó yàtọ̀ gédégédé sí gbogbo ètò tí a ti ń wò. Ó dẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sí gbogbo ètò tí a ti ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, nítorí pé ẹ̀kọ́ pàtàkì ni ẹ máa rí kọ́. Ibi kí a ti ń wo ètò ní àṣálẹ́ yìí, ẹ bá mi like níbẹ̀, ẹ bá mi ṣọwọ́ fún gbogbo ẹni tó bá yẹ kó rí, gbogbo ẹni tó bá yẹ kó mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá yẹ kí ẹ sọ fún, gbogbo ẹni tó bá yẹ kí ẹ ta lólogó lórí rẹ̀, gbogbo wọn pátá ni mo bẹ̀ yín, ẹ bá mi ta wọ́n lólogó. Nítorí pé àtọkùnrin o, àtobìnrin o, àti ọmọdé àti àgbàlagbà, mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa ètò ti àṣálẹ́ yìí. Nítorí bí mo ṣe sọ, oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀kọ́ la ó kọ́ níbẹ̀, oríṣiríṣi ohun ni a ó rí mú lọlé níbẹ̀, pàápàá oríṣiríṣi ìmọ̀ràn ni ẹ ó ní níbẹ̀. Ohun tí ò yé yín tẹ́lẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ pé ní àṣálẹ́ yìí ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yé yín. Ohun tó dẹ̀ yé yín tẹ́lẹ̀ á túbọ̀ yé yín sí. Mo fi ọrùn ọba aláwùrà bí ọba tó dá ọjọ́ òní, mo fi bẹ̀ yín gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi pín kíní ọ̀hún kó jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí kárí ilé. Báwo mo ṣe pé ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ kárí ilé, kí ọkùnrin mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí obìnrin mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí ọmọdé mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, kí àgbàlagbà mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. It's a program for everybody that everybody must know about. You need to get a pen and a paper. so that you can take down some few notes. It's a complete lecture tonight that everybody should be able to take one thing or the other from. And if you are a genius, if you know what you're doing, you're not just going to pick up a little from it, you're going to pick a lot from it, because there's a lot to learn on today's program. There's a lot. When I mean a lot, there's a lot to learn on today's program. And I don't want you to go on without learning all the necessary things that you're supposed to learn. Because when you learn all these things, it's going to make life even much easier for all of us. I want to thank all the people who are sharing it. I want to thank people who are relaying it. I want to thank people who are posting it and sharing it on WhatsApp, on any platform, on any way you know how to share it. I want to thank all of you. But I don't think we have enough people yet to be on this program. So I want more people to join the program. I want more people to view the program. I want more people to be part of today's lecture so that you can learn a lot. What is in stock tonight is very massive. Very massive. Very massive. Well, without wrangling on and on about it, I think I should be able to let you make up your mind and take decision on it about how big the information that I'm about to pass on tonight, how big it is. You will be able to judge that yourself. Before we start, please help me to share, help me to like the platform you're watching it from. Any platform you're watching it from is a legitimate platform, and a platform that is actually doing us, that's going to do us a lot of favor. Is the platform will be doing us a lot of favor tonight. So wherever you're watching it from, please help me to share it. Please help me to distribute it. Help me to pass it on, both on any way you know how to pass it on. Pass it on to the extent that it come back to me, and then we will find out that a lot of our people will learn a lot on this program tonight. So without much to do, let's go and watch it. Here is the information I want to pass on to you. Owners and victims of Nigeria, a peep in British Dark Archive. Why do they call it Dark Archive? Because it's something that they might not want us to know. And that is why they take history out of our curriculum in our country. Because the more you know, the more you get exposed. And that is the problem. So let's have a look at it. Hope you enjoy it. I will come back after the show. I will take questions, and we will deliberate and discuss it.
This great man.
We also have there are things that will come on screen, the ones that are in other forms, not easy to print like this. So we could see, because they are all verifiable things. By way of further introduction, yes, I'm a lawyer of 26 years with specialty in jurisprudence, and I've been on this task for quite a while. I set out as a young man to be a military pilot. I should have been flying jet fighters. I read all the physics and chemistry, mathematics of this work, and still teach them. But by some providence, I ended up in law. And I didn't understand where that was going until in the final year, when we took the course. Are there lawyers in this house? Any lawyers, please? It's a practical, and if you have your telephone with you and you have internet access, I will also encourage you to switch it on, because we'll make some quick references to things you can verify. I want you to be able to go back to your station and confront whoever comes to tell you any other thing. It doesn't matter what that person says he is on the matter, you know. We will go from, like doctors will do, diagnosis, prescription, and then the treatment. The reason why things have remained upside down here is that we've not gone to the right diagnosis. Some will say, oh, it's corruption. Far from it. You know how the Western world solve their problems? When they say, oh, it's corruption, somebody will ask, what is corruption? How did it come? Where is it coming from? Your body is hot. Somebody says it's malaria. Somebody will ask, what is malaria? You then find out it is mosquito that is responsible for it. They will go beyond that. Some of our people will just go and buy a net or buy broom or something to stop mosquito for one moment. Anybody who wants to solve malaria goes all the way to stopping mosquito from breeding in the neighborhood. It's as simple as that. If you don't, the next mosquito comes, you are down to your malaria. So if you talk about corruption, you will have with you right now under this roof where it is coming from. And nothing will change, no matter how much you shout, until it's uprooted. As it is with corruption, so it is with the killings you see in the Middle Belt and elsewhere. So it is with the infrastructural decay that you see, whereby there are no roads, nothing seems to be working anywhere. What we've done in the last 20 years, was to probe into, because I ended up from the law, I had my bit in court, and I ended up in the oil industry. But I left the oil industry in 1998 on account of this. Upstream, I left from senior executive position in the upstream. There's nobody left in NNPC today who can argue with me for 10 minutes on national television on what it costs to produce crude, either on land, in the swamp, in the sea, on the desert. I've dealt with from what you call seismic studies, where you are looking for where you could find, to all of what you do in well development, to what you do in piping it around and processing it until the time you transport it and sell. But why did I leave? Because I came face to face with the document by which Shell and Mobil, Egypt, Earth were operating. And I said to myself, what could this mean? Does it mean we're not the owners of this land? That these foreigners will dictate the terms by which they operate? I'm sure you've seen their signposts, those of you who came from Port Harcourt area. NNPC Shell joint venture, Shell operator, Earth. Anyone you see, the operator is foreign. You have a business, a joint venture. You are not to know what it costs to produce whatever it is that joint venture has to do. It is that foreigner who will write down whatever he writes down, and whatever he declares as profit is what you now share. So I began to ask myself, how did we get to that? And it's not a 2-year contract, it was a 50-year lease. Signed off between 1967 and 1969 by people who could not even read properly what was written, under circumstances in which they just signed first and it was explained to them later. How did we even arrive at that point in 1967? We began to probe. It came to where I had to leave everything else to say let's even, because we found out there was nothing to be found in our archives. We asked some of our elders, people with gray hair, people who went to negotiate the independence for Nigeria. I happen to have spent plenty of time with the last of them who were alive in course of the last 20 years at least. And Nohoro, for instance, spent the last 7 years of his life trying to undo what they did in going to sign us up into this union. We shouldn't have been. But first things first, the research from the known to the unknown led us to where we had to go to. You know the way WikiLeaks gets its information? We had to get the information we were looking for by all means. We broke into the British archives using all available technologies. And by the time we saw what was in black and white, some of them with instructions that they should not be typed, because any day the wrong eyes see them, the whole edifice will come crashing down. Those documents are inside this room now. And we traced things from that way back to what became 1914. And from that 1914, before 1914, when we landed in 1900, when I'm sure some of you might have heard about the Royal Niger Company, that the British had to pay £865,000 to take over the trading areas in what they consolidated in readiness for the annexation of Southern Protectorate with the Northern Protectorate. That question of paying £865,000 at that time, somebody bought something from somewhere, and that person is still the owner of that piece of estate. Now your country, okay, take me to the map. No, not that. The ones in black and white, the one of 1912. The ones in black and white. Scroll down, you'll see. But let's go on until they get there. The Nigeria you have, yes, hold it there. The Nigeria you have is a joint venture. You saw Prince Charles the other day, and he came. You saw the sitting arrangements. We've not moved from where we were as at that time they created the union. It was a business venture. It was the trade of the era, to go to wherever you can, beat them down, take whatever you can. So the British, the French, everybody was doing their own everywhere. But what became Nigeria was where the British had come towards this axis, and they managed to make their first landings. I'm sure you know about the Lagos Colonial of 1861, how Kosoko and Dosumo, like that, the oil rivers. They came from the Atlantic waterfront, entered into trade treaties and protection treaties with some of those trading partners in little bits and patches. Those treaties, dating back to the 1840s, 50s, 60s, and all of that, was what the British had in their hands. At the time, they were pushing northwards, because on all the other sides, where will I even, let me go closer so you can see. No, it's clear enough. They have a, you can use the flyer you have in your hand, the one that is broken. Don't mind the fact that it's broken. The flyer has that map. This is Atlantic. You see Lagos there, you see Port Harcourt here. This is the Atlantic waterfront. This British came. You can see that apart from River Niger, the map is divided into two sides. The British entered from this side, and all the parts in that lower part were already in their hands at the time. On the other side, I'm sure you all remember the jihad, which we still have. You remember that they were foreigners too who invaded, landed in Sokoto, 1804, and conquered the portion in green. The portion in green in your map. They overran them. 1804. The British came in the 1860s. That means they were here 60 years before the British got here. Now, having secured that portion that you see in green, they were pushing downwards. They also wanted to get to the Atlantic waterfront. The British wanted to get to what was left on the east. On the eastern side is Cameroon, On the other, the northeastern side is Chad, then Niger, and then Benin Republic to the left. The French had already taken all of the other places. The British would have pushed all the way to here, if not for that caliphate that was already occupying here and pushing downwards. They met halfway in a fight that happened in the Ilorin-Benue axis. Caliphate coming to the ocean, the British trying to secure the balance of the land. After a short while, it occurred to them, we're on the same mission, oh boy. Two robbery gangs after the same target. Say, why do we fight ourselves? Why don't you bring what you have? I bring what I have. We consolidate it so that we can share the benefits of having it permanently. And that was what became the Amalgamation of 1914. Every document that transpired between them is in our possession, lodged in libraries across the world. Whatever they choose to do is already too late to be able to reverse the actions that have been initiated to salvage ourselves from what they've landed us into. Now, having reached that agreement, I'm sure some of us recall when the Caliphate was talking about dipping their Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. That is, they were telling the British at the time this matter of Nigeria, because it was for them a matter of conquest. That is, they had to conquer. But the British came with something else. They said, well, whenever you guys are done with whatever you came to do, we'll push on until we dip our Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. Anybody here ever heard about that? Yes. Wonderful. Now, the document of the amalgamation was one in which, I'm sure, who are the ones from South Africa here? Good. The apartheid, what the Boers did in South Africa was exactly what the Fulani did with their British friends over our heads here to make this place their own over the heads of the owners of all the lands. A master-servant relationship. And the instrument of 1914, technical people, go back to what you first brought, the one in red, the one of 1913, so they can all read with us how, yes, I can see it from here, but the flyer you have, the one that has the map, let's see so that we can be on the same page. Yes. If you have the flyer, read from the flyer, otherwise you can read from the screen. This is an excerpt from a telegram from the Secretary for the Colonies explaining what they were about to do, because they didn't tell anybody in southern Nigeria that they were going to lump us together with the people of the north. The discussion was strictly between them and that caliphate. It was a German newspaper that leaked it for the first time on the 26th of December in 1913. It took almost 15 years of day and night exchanges, meetings, travels to piece together all those parcels of land that came under those treaties. They didn't tell them where it was all going. Everybody thought they were still, the Shekiri thought they were still in their treaty. The Lagos Colony thought they were still in their treaty. Everybody, the British was tiptoeing over their head, you know, merging them. It was in 1906 that they merged the entire southern territories to become the protectorate of southern Nigeria. From that 1906, they then began to merge the systems, two mortally opposed civilizations, because on the other side, Sharia was already in place. You know, they came as jihad. How do you create one political union with a group that owes it a duty of faith to kill the infidel? That duty never changes. No matter how you settle all the other things, the duty will never go away. You are the infidel, you have to be killed. They have a right in that their faith to lie to you. They call it takia. They deceive you into thinking you are in another business until you get killed. And they are also of a feudalist worldview. You know what feudalism is? All men are not born equal. No matter what you do, what you achieve, you are no more than the slave you are to them, even if they have nothing or no education. Between the two, a terrible alchemy that as a slave, you dare not compete with your master for the ownership or control of whatever. The slave does not have a right to anything, no right to property, not even right to life. You know you can do away with your slave, kill your slave. And that was the civilization that was already in place, and the British knew. But they were also, they too were, what do we call them? They were feudalists too. And one thing led to the other. Eventually, they were able to piece it all together. That I'm now reading from that cablegram. Secretary of State, Secretary for the Colonies, his name was Harcourt, the one after which Port Harcourt was named. He says, in explaining what was about to happen the day before it did come public, that we have released northern Nigeria from the leading strings of the treasury. The promising and well-conducted youth is now on an allowance of his own and is about to effect an alliance with the southern lady of Minsk. I have issued the special license, and Sir Frederick Lugard will perform the ceremony. May the union be fruitful and the couple constant. Secretary for the Colonies, Lord Harcourt, boss of Lord Frederick Lugard, referring to the import and purport of the annexation of the then Protectorate of Southern Nigeria to the Protectorate of Northern Nigeria. So what they reported to you as amalgamation, as if there was some coming together of equals, was actually an annexation. And the purpose, what the British came to do, back to that map, please. Back to the map where what the British came in search of were all on this axis. But the people they met here provided resistance. You know what they call resistance? They fought and fought and fought to make a landing. I'm sure there are Yoruba people here. I'm sure some of you have had your song many times. If I begin it, will you be able to join me to end it? It begins, eyo, 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 bantawa, tó ń fi góòlù ń ṣeré, àwa ò lè sanwó ní bòde, òdìlé. The clause I want you to take from it, àwa ò lè sanwó ní bòde, òdìlé. Your great-grandfathers fought the British for years and years, preventing them from landing. And your song you sang now was the victory song composed. We will never pay custom duty to these foreigners on our waters. Today, 58 years into your independence, you are paying that customs religiously to people from this part. And from independence to date, not one of you had ever qualified to be Controller General of Customs. Now, I can give you up to 20 of these kind of examples. Who has ever been to Lagos Island, the Victoria Island here? Does anybody know where Bonny Camp is? Yes. Does anybody know where Eco Hotel is? Yes. The road that goes from the front of Bonny Camp to Eco Hotel, what's the name of that road? Ahmadu Bello Way. When you stand on Ahmadu Bello Way, is there any other thing to do to go to the ocean? You are on the last firm piece of land before the Atlantic. Yes. Have they not dipped their Quran into the Atlantic? Who collects the rent? The landlord or whoever? It's not the landlord that collects the rent. They take away over 2 trillion from these port operations every year. I won't call it misfortune. It so happened that a few months after Tinubu handed over to Fashola, we were at an event. He sat next to me. He was to speak before me. He finished, and I took over the microphone, and I asked him, I said, Governor Emeritus, in the 8 years you were governor here, what was the maximum sum you got from federal allocation? He was quick to remember. There was 73 billion naira. I had documents with me in that event showing that in all those 8 years, Nigeria did not take away anything less than 1.6 trillion as from port operation alone. 10% of 1.6 trillion is 160 billion. 5% therefore, 80 billion. Lagos getting 73 billion in the maximum meant that Lagos in those 8 years did not get even 5% of what Nigeria was taking away from their place. The event collapsed. It was at Blue Roof in Ikeja here. The event collapsed when, amidst all that noise, because I had come to tell them what we were doing, that if we do not act together to recover this land, you are not only going to remain the slaves you have been since that time, they will kill you and take your land and become the new owners to eliminate future claims. At the time these things were happening, we had also, in this project, we had also gone around the country whispering at that time to the other people who were in the same danger. Nobody will listen. Back to how we've arrived at 1914. Therefore, Nigeria was, as at that time, intended to be a marriage between the northern and the southern lady of means. I'm sure you hear about oil industry, Ijo, blah, blah, blah. Who has been to Owerri here before? Does anybody know where they call Shell Camp in Owerri? Is there anybody here who has ever heard about Shell Camp in Owerri? There's a place called Shell Camp. I'm sure you do not know that Shell was headquartered in that place for 42 years, going to Port Harcourt in 1960. And it's not a small facility. You know the Modotel Hotel that has become Rockview? That's the gate area. Government House Owerri, the whole of that government house was inside that facility. Avani Koku, the university, was inside that facility. The Federal Medical Center after the university was inside that facility. That's on one side of the road. On the other side, the whole of that mobile police camp, all the way to back of prison. All these listed were fenced together as the headquarters of Shell for those 42 years. They went to Port Harcourt in 1960, and M.I. Okpara, as Premier of Eastern Region, bought that property. Then Owerri was a provincial capital. Why did they go to Port Harcourt? Because the pretense that they were dealing with some Niger Delta, some people that could not be properly described. They just wanted to create a woolly condition around that discussion because the Igbo fought them. Obarewen, the Oba in Benin, you know how it ended. The King Jaja of Opobo, the one they had to send on exile, who migrated by himself from Amibo, next to Nkwere. That's where he came from. Now, what was going on? I'm sure you know Rumo Mashi and Rumo this and that and that. That was when, and why did they do that? They had sold your oil for 50 years before they declared Oloibiri. All the story you hear about Oloibiri, false. This oil was used in the First World War, in the Second World War. Undeclared. It was property of the, Nigeria was their colony, was their property. So you couldn't go quarreling with them for whatever they did. But in pretending that it was not so, clearing out the history books, I've had the misfortune of meeting with governors from the place and senators who did not know that this was the case. They believed Oloibiri with all their heart until I confronted them with the documents in our possession. And they went cold, ashamed, because they were gray-haired men who were supposed to be telling their grandchildren. They did not know. And this pretense, you remember Willings Commission, 1957-58? Willings Commission did not deal with only the Niger Delta. It was minorities. I'm going to bring out 3 things from there so that we can move on to how we landed on the constitution we have on the table now and what we could do to wriggle out of it, except we want to submit to be killed, because that's what is coming our way. If we don't do something to stop them, what they are doing right now is what ISIS set out to do with Syria and Iraq. ISIS operated from the flanks. They are operating from the government house of Nigeria. When you hear Danjuma come out to shout that is ethnic cleansing, you think Danjuma was joking? Ethnic cleansing means so that there will be no future claim. They wipe you out, resettle their own people there. If you come in 2 years or 3 years, you won't believe anybody else was there before. Go and find out what has happened in Southern Kaduna. Not only do they dislocate and dislodge, eliminate and dislodge whole communities, they bring their own people from Mali. You remember when El Rufai talked about going to settle those who are killing his own people in 14 different countries? So, as you find these tiles on the ground here, these tiles you see, that's how they have mapped out Nigeria to the Atlantic waterfront. And they're taking it in. They are done with the green part, you see. They are in this purple belt, the one you call the middle belt. And the mission is to do away with them. Some of them have been renamed Emirates already. Is that not the case? Now, so that we can keep the trajectory, the next thing you find on that, when independence, was coming, and the independence didn't fall from the sky. The independence was where people from that southern part began to resist them, to say, look, you can't continue to govern us here. All of those who fought them, can you remember anybody from the north who was part of the fight? Enohoro, Mokugokoye, Awolowo, Osita Aguna, name them. They were all from the south. And these guys now, the British now decided to, independence, yes, you will get. But your situation will be worse than it was when we were here. And what they packaged as independence in 1960 was a bogus thing. Go back to the first map. Now, yes, wonderful. That's how I want it. You see this line here? This was northern Nigeria. This is southern Nigeria. Can you see the landmass? When independence was coming, they conducted a census. The whole of this place had 17% of Nigeria's population. 17%. The British, because of what they had in mind to create, a political structure that will make this one's permanent majority in all political decisions to be made in Nigeria, so that they can sit in Buckingham Palace and talk to Sokoto Palace and take whatever they want in Port Harcourt and Lagos without talking to any of you troublemakers. That's the whole purpose. And they've had it for 100 years plus. And we're still here swearing to defend and uphold the constitution they imposed that make us slave. Imagine, my brother from South Africa, imagine in 1988 or even 85 that blacks living in South Africa, I'm sure you remember the Bantustan arrangement. The Boers were able to convince some of the black people that, look, you can't do anything about we being here. Why don't you just go one step at a time, slowly? They said they will give them primary education up to maybe standard 3 in the first instance. Then after so many years, they will go to standard 6 and then go. It may take about 50 years before they come to where they will be qualified to go to any higher institution. And people bought into it. And they began to treat them, the discrimination was already there. They now began to give those people who agreed with them some little benefits. And they became those people who were working with them to go slowly, became the biggest impediment on the way of the anti-apartheid fighters. I attended Henry Oka's trial. I addressed the judge in Johannesburg for 2 hours, 35 minutes. I had 53 cameras beaming live, TV cameras, CNN, Al Jazeera, all of them. And I told them the story of South Africa because the trial they had come to conduct was an attempt to replicate for Nigeria what was done in South Africa, to make master-servant permanent. By the time we finished from court, the whole of South Africa was upside down. Young people who never heard about the story of their country in that manner trooped out to the streets on the side of what, because I challenged them with their own history. Was it by beheading Mandela and Oliver Tambo and Governor Mbeki that you solved apartheid? Why will you recommend that now that we find ourselves in the same situation? The only difference is that in South Africa it was the Boers. Here it's the Fulani. But the principle is the same. Foreign invader, minority, white, now owner of land, to the exclusion of owners of land. Willings Commission, if I go back to the map, settled a number of things. Back to the oil business. The reason Willings Commission asked that development be accelerated for them was because of that, having sold this oil for this length of time, having degraded the environment that much, those people, when independence comes, will find out and they will begin to make trouble. The British were hoping that they will be able to whisper to them to say, don't you see, you have this, you have that, when others don't have. Relax. They would then admit them in some way. That was the plan. But the people they handed over to in 1960 didn't do anything. When did Isaac Boro arise? Was it not 6 years down the road that they declared Niger Delta Republic from the same disputations that have now brought about Ment and the Avenger? Was it any different? They didn't keep that. The other part, who is from the Middle Belt here? The killings that are going on in the place. If you look at this north now, it hasn't changed. These boundaries you see here have not changed. That north that begins from here, this is about Gakem area, to Maiduguri and Sokoto there. The portion in green, these 12 states that passed Sharia the other day officially. The balance, the one in purple, was where Ahmadu Bello wanted Sharia for the northern region, going into independence. That's when the British go away, it will be Sharia for his region. The other people, Joseph Tucker and all the ones from the Middle Belt, say, no, our people are not Muslims and we can't be part of one region if Sharia will be in place. They had to find common ground because they wanted a Middle Belt region. They fought and fought, they were being put down. The British settled it this way. They removed Sharia from the table and brought what they called penal code, so that those who are Christians can function freely, uninhibited in that. And that was the condition upon which the Middle Belt became part of northern region of Nigeria. Therefore, from the day in year 2000 that those 12 states, the portion in green in your map, from the day in year 2000 that those 12 states simultaneously imposed Sharia in their contiguous territory, they had moved away from that foundational agreement. They have seceded from the Union of Nigeria. They have seceded from the secular Federation of Nigeria. Having so seceded, they reinforce, they are now coming to overrun the rest of the place. And why do they have to resort to that? The constitutional instruments they put in place, including the one the British helped them to put in place since 1914 to 1922 to 1946. I'm sure you heard about McPherson and Littleton, all the way to independence. That became 63, which collapsed in 66. I'm now landing in the one that is on the table. And what we must do, which if we don't do, we will pay in blood. If we don't do, we will pay in blood. It doesn't matter what the noise elsewhere is. When it came for the British to go, and they were asking those territories they had governed for over 70 years at the time, how do you guys continue when we go? They had governed them as 3 different countries. Nobody knew what they were doing in the north. Nobody knew what they were doing in the east or the west. Gradually, the meetings that began to bring them together started happening towards the 50s. By the time we came to 53, Enohoro moved the motion for independence because they thought they had come to where they could become independent. Somebody, the northern delegates opposed it and defeated it. What was their reason? They said, oh, we cannot go from British colonialism, that we're backward. We're not yet in a position to compete with you. So if we go to independence now, the British will step away, you step into their shoes, then we remain where we are. You can go your own. The British wanted, the British didn't tell anybody why they wanted the Union to be. Remember that before then, Ahmadu Bello had cause to lament that this was the mistake of 1914, that Nigeria was a mistake of 1914. And not long after, Awolowo also had reason to say that this geographical expression, no, the ones who were building Nigeria did not believe in it up till that point. At what point did it now become something that has become non-negotiable, sacrosanct, indivisible? Because they've managed to impose, constitutional models away from what was agreed. Because by the time they were getting ready, they had to make themselves constitutions, as like you have Germany and France and Portugal going into European Union. All the negotiations of what they would do for themselves and what they will allow the European Union authorities to do for them. The federal government is supposed to be a union office for independent units. And that was how they came. Yes, that's how they came to where they became one country, to have accepted that level of autonomy. And it was Ahmadu Bello that made that demand. In all, By 1966, the 5 constitutions that defined the federation, the coup came, those constitutions were toppled. All those who are talking about restructuring and how it will happen, those constitutions that were toppled defined the Federation of Nigeria. From the moment they were toppled, the Federation of Nigeria ceased to be. The country was still in place. And a rogue federal government emerged. Elements who, wearing the garment of that Nigeria that had died, began to run riot, seizing the assets of all the federating units, which were contributing only 15% of their income, as they agreed, for the upkeep of the center. The center didn't own anything. So we came from being a federation into this unitarianism. And by the time they were going to hand over in 1979, they had found a way to also work out something that became a constitution that was not discussed. And it was that constitution that was not discussed, in which they had created all kinds of structures from the 4 regions they met that were on ground in 1966. We have now 36 states created by decree. So a new majority has emerged. Each of the states has 3 senators at the place. So, 4 local government areas in which Kano alone has 44, and Lagos that had the same 20 local governments with them at the beginning is still keeping 20, whereas Kano had been broken into Kano and Jigawa. Between the 2 of them, they have 71 local government areas. What are they bringing to the treasury? Nothing. All the money Nigeria has to spend is between the oil money, the port money, and the VAT that is raised here. These people who bring nothing take 72% as of right in the place of sharing. And they're the ones who decide what other people will get, who they give more, who they give less. And in all of this, democracy, let me just refer to the documents you have in one of the documents, you see where we try to define democracy, that we do not have a democracy because democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. In those three legs of definition, government of the people means that you, in exercise of your right to your sovereign right, decide the supreme laws of the land. The constitution we have on the table today did not come from that process. And so we have not decided whether we will live together or how we will live. The second leg is of the people, meaning that only your vote can send people to government house. And when they get to government house, they can only function according to that constitution you already made. Do we have that? No. The third leg, for the people, meaning that those who wield government powers must do so not only in accordance with what was put in place in the constitution, but for your benefit. The reason we don't have the things that should have been coming to you as citizens is that you have not written the script of what should happen. And so you have in this constitution provisions that exclude responsibility towards you. Section 6, subsection 6C of your constitution absolves government of all responsibilities towards you. They don't owe you any school, they don't owe you any hospital, they don't owe you anything. Anything they do, they are doing out of the milk of human kindness. That is one. You have appropriation provisions. Section 81, section 82 hands over the keys to the treasury to the president. Section 121, 122 hands over the keys to the treasury to the governors. So they don't owe you any obligation. They have the spare key to the treasury. They have immunity in section 308. At what point are you going to get anything from them? How did you come about that constitution? By imposition. And what all the cry and demand for repairing this place goes to is to say, let us accept we have departed from the foundation of being a federation. Because if we were a federation, Lagos Port would belong to Lagos, oil and gas of Niger Delta would belong to them. The middle belt, where killings are going on unabated, unchallenged, will have the right to defend themselves because they will have guns. The constitution has 68 items on the exclusive list, all written by decree, that make it impossible for the middle belt to touch any gun. You saw where the governors went crying, and the president said, go home and live in peace with your Fulani of Bene. If we do not remove that from that constitution, nothing will resolve that question. As it is for those killings, so it is for electricity. I cannot generate electricity because it's on the exclusive list. Lagos has 40 million people. It cannot generate electricity. Imagine the day comes that California cannot generate electricity and have to wait for Maine to come and give them electricity. They will leave the union. Imagine the day that Texas is no longer in control of its oil fields. Would they remain in the union for 24 hours? And it's supposed to be a federation. What is a federation? So we're in a fraud now in which the federation that collapsed is being sustained by brigandage, and they have imposed a constitution that we can no longer question. And anybody who says, what are you doing? What was Abiola's offense? Do you know why Abiola was killed? The servant does not rule over his master. So it's not only Jonathan that had to be chased away because he wasn't one of those who could preside. These same people are doing the killings in the Middle Belt, doing the killings in the East, doing the killings in the West. They are the ones who seized everybody's asset. They are the ones who imposed this constitution. And you join them to go to elections under that constitution. By what constitution would they govern? Anybody who wins in this election, by what constitution is he going to govern? You are reinforcing your enslavement. And if they kill you in the process, it's your ignorance that killed you. We've been going all over the place trying to tell people that this is what is the case. They are not listening. We went to the men of God in the land without exception, quietly. Sir, here's the problem. If Desmond Tutu did not join Mandela in South Africa, would you not still be in apartheid now? Where are all men of God? If not for people like this who say, look, enough of this thing being said in quiet places. There's nothing I've said here that I've not said on national television. There's nothing I've said here that I've not said to the faces of those who have been governing Nigeria with this illicit decree. They are committing treason against the rest of us. They are committing treason against the rest of us because they put our signature on the document that sees our assets, that sees our lives. And we say, we have tolerated this document for 20 years, since 1999. We will not tolerate it any further. All of you, by the time they finish the election, less than 1,500 people will be sworn in as the ones who have won in the election. 180 million people are in danger. And they have managed to get you to come be on one side or the other. Put your mind the day after the election. The people who win will have to swear to defend and uphold your enslavement. The summary of what we are telling our people now is that processes had been undertaken. The majority, the whole of the South and the Middle Belt, have been told and shown what the problem is. That constitution must go down. Those who are going to contest under it are doing so for their intestines, not on your behalf, whatever they say. If you do not wake up and go to what will work for you, you are not only going to remain in your situation, they will come to where they turn up at your doorstep with their AK-47 on their mission to conquer. Let us leave it there.
Wow. Very, 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 very deep. Guys, I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to add to it. I don't even know how to proceed from here because the information just came crashing onto me. It crashed to me so much. I'm lost for thought. Completely lost. For what? I'm stunned. I'm shocked. That this is what was going on in our backyard for so long. And is it that we don't care? Is it that we don't know? Why did they keep everything away from us? In the curriculum in England, there's still what's it called? There's still history in there. need to get this across to everybody that needs to know this. And the funniest thing is that I can't do it alone. We have to do it together. You have to be part of this. I'm going to open the phone line because it will be a good thing for us to be able to discuss this together. So the best thing to do is, let me have your opinion. I will give you my opinion. You give me your opinion. We deliberate on this together, and we take it along the line from there. Like I always say, I don't want to impose anything on anybody. I don't want to impose anything on anybody. But I want us to educate ourselves in a way that will make things better for all of us. So if you're interested in chatting with me on this issue today, give me a call. The number is on the description of the video. Okay, I think the video is going to be very popular tonight because my fellow brethren here doesn't even wait for me to finish. So it's going to be very popular because it's very educative. Brother or sister, your name and where you're calling from and your contribution.
My name is Adeola from the United Kingdom.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Thomas. Thank you for this how you just played this evening. It's been going on now for at least up to a year or if no more than, because I've watched it somewhere and I really appreciate you share today with the rest of us. But my point across now is, where do we go from here? We need to break these highs. We need to let people know that these people, this government are deceiving us. But like I said so many times on this program and other program for the Yoruba agitation, that we need to sensitize our people. We need to let them know that election is not the solution to our problem. Our problem is how to educate our people, how to empower them so that we know where we're going from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate that. Sensitize our people, let our people know. I'm going to let you go, Uncle, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye, sir. Get the people to get more people to be aware of what is going on. And what can we do? You, me, everybody. Yes, I mean you. You. Yes, you. Then you what? Why are you looking at me and Sean and stunned? You don't need to be stunned. We're in this together. We're in this together. Yes, and you too. We're in this together. We have to go through it together. We're going through it together. We're going to do it together because I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Fatai can. Olayomiko cannot do it alone. Erelu Abikade cannot do it alone. It's all of us that needs to do this all together. We all need to do this together. And the only way we can do it is if we keep working on it together so that everyone knows exactly what is happening, how to go about it, how to handle it. The more noise we make together, the better it is. There's how far my voice can go. But with your help, you can propel my voice even further. This has been going on for so long now. But that's how far Tony's voice can go to. But with my help, I was able to propel Tony's voice further down. The last time Nnamdi Kanu came here, we were able to propel his voice further down. The last time Okrubido was on the show, we were able to propel his voice further down. He's going to come in today, but I hope he's not going to just be showing me heads, because I want to see his tussle today. You know why I like to bully this man? No matter what you do to this man, it doesn't matter. He just take it with a pinch of salt and just smile about it. Oh. Let's welcome Fatai Okurubido as well onto the platform. I'm waiting for Olayomi Koike. I haven't said anything to him, but if you manage to get out of him, tell him to give me a call. He needs to come on the program because we're all running this program together. We are all running it together, including Ayo Godimu, Koiki, Bedu. house? Who else is on the house? Even all the people in America, we're all running this together. I'm not sure if I still have your voice, Mr. Ogunibido. Can you say something, sir? I think I lost him there. He should be back shortly. Fatai should be back shortly. Oh, he's there. He's actually there. No, he's gone red now. So we all have to do this together. Everybody has to play their part. You have to play your part. I have to play my part. One of the part that you guys can play is actually by sharing this program. Share it more and more. I think Fatai is actually back. Let me see who that is. Okay. Fatai Ogonibido is back in the house. Good evening, sir. How are you doing today? Hey. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening to you, sir. that was an amazing lecture.
I like to believe
very well empowering and well educative. God bless Mr. Nandi for us. Honestly, if only 10% of Nigerians could have had this tonight, especially 10% of Southerners, I can assure you, so many minds are going to open, so many ears are going to really open. Even those who have been tied spiritually will be able, because can I tell you, it's such an empowerment of a lecture that could have even rehabilitated a lot of people mentally. Honestly, it was like a religious sermon, which actually.
I don't know what happened to Mr. Ogonibido's. Are you using the house internet or using your mobile phone internet? I think you're using.
I am using my office internet. Unfortunately, it's very low. Okay, so I think listeners will have to bear with me tonight.
That's okay then. Bear with me because when I saw there was some drawing behind you, I thought the kids had been drawing some.
Please bear with me because.
Let me appreciate some of our audience tonight. I've seen a lot of you guys online. I don't know why the internet is playing up a little bit, but that is not a problem. Dr. Bossy is online. First time I'm seeing you online. I have never seen you online before. Thank you for joining. That is lovely. Let me go right to the bottom, to the top. Christiana Olojo, Taiba Tibelo, Johnson Amos, Tony Alaka, David Adegoke. African Affairs, my brother. Thank you for joining. Orishe Monet. Adetuji Ayo. Kelvin Olukojo, D.K. Benjamin, Derek Andrew Johnson, thank you for joining. Osi Olatibosun, thank you for joining. Olaogun, thank you. Alabi Sunday, Abiodun, thank you for joining, guys. Matthew Olaiwole, you are late again. Where have you been? I haven't seen you for some few days. Come on, you need to show up more. No, kudos to everyone. This is not me. This is all of us working together. Akim Labi, thank you. Thank you very much. Who else is there? Ayo Flex, thank you. David Ogonipe, thank you for joining today. I really appreciate everybody that joined that program on YouTube. You know what? The first time in history, Facebook beat everybody hands down. Facebook beat everybody hands down today. I don't know how you get there, but you beat everybody. Everybody has been terribly beaten today because on Facebook we have so much figures. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but this is not the figure I was saying before. Are people finish washing and they do it running? No, I don't think so. On YouTube, I have quite a few numbers of people watching as well. Like I always say, when you're watching this program, if you're 114 people watching and you get 38 likes, that's not good enough. You need to get at least 3/4 of the likes so that more people can actually get to see the video. The more likes you have, the better it will be for more people to actually see the video later on. Let me go on to Facebook and acknowledge the audience tonight, because I just don't want to just go by without thanking everybody that has actually joined us online tonight. I want to say a very big good afternoon or good morning or good evening to all of you. Ooh, 5,329 reach already. Wow, that is classic. That is very, very classic. I want to thank everybody watching the program, everybody who's going to watch it later on. Wherever platform you're watching it from, please remember to share it. Remember to like it. Remember to do more for it. Fatai, what do you think of that production? The information carried.
Well, I have to confess to you tonight, it's like having a sort of spiritual exercise whereby people have to be delivered, and the deliverance message was sent across. And then I can assure you, as many as people who watch that program tonight must have been emotionally, spiritually, and physically delivered, because it entailed everything that has created the enslavement for us as Southerners, and what has actually established a sort of authority on us, stamping on us as slaves. Everything has been unfolded tonight. It's not it's not left for us as people, as individuals, as people from the southern part of Nigeria, to find a way out of their enslavement. Because without being told, we all know that currently we are in enslavement. But what is a tragedy is a large number of people, most especially people who have been under 45. Many of them have never lived in real life. They've never lived a sort of life that is actually normal. The people have lived so much in enslavement and in a sort of penury that people don't believe that life is normal and life is good, because all people are born into is enslavement and punishment. So it's like people don't really understand that there are two ways to life, which is, first of all, goodness to life, as well as the bad side of life. So, but from tonight, I think people can be sensible more, and they can actually understand that tonight is a deliverance night, and we hope everybody benefits from it.
Tonight is a deliverance night, and everybody is benefiting from it. I'm just gonna acknowledge people.
1 second.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly acknowledge all the people on Facebook. Even though so many people, the things showing me the numbers of people there has disappeared so quickly. Bashiru Mustafa, regular. When I mean regular, that's another regular. That's somebody that wants us to be free. Celine, thank you for joining. Adeshola Shole, thank you for joining. Timmy Tokwe, thank you. Joel Agu, thank you. Abiodun Moibil, thank you. Christina Bamidele, thank you. I think I know this Christina Bamidele. God bless you, man. God bless you. Fatai. Oh, Video, you are in two places at the same time. You're on the screen, you're on Facebook at the same time. I don't know how you do it. Joy online, reward you. Abiodun, thank you. Demi Tope, thank you. Ugo Oyemashi, thank you very much. I hope I called the name. Ola Akiode. Ooh, I think I know that Ola Akiode. He lives in maybe Birmingham or Manchester. I'm not very sure, but I think I know that person. I think I know that name. Ola Dimeji, thank you very much for joining. Izzy, thank you. You think I don't know you are a regular? I know you're a regular, Bashiru. I know that. Notoma, thank you. Mark, thank you very much. Enoma, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys joining the program. Sam, Oyebayo, Oyabayo, wow. I'm so glad to see you online, brother. Thank you for joining. This is a very good eyes opener for everybody. Notoma, thank you, which is Mark. I've actually called your name before. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Ame, thank you. Journalists our journalists are all compromised. True. To a certain level. Somebody like Adeoye has not been compromised, but they need to take it very, very careful the way things are being done in Nigeria. The people in the Niger area are under apartheid. Ibukem, thank you. Okay, Victor Noir, thank you. Oh, hold on. This Victor Noir, yeah, I said I know this face. I know this face. I know that face very well. Thank you for joining, sir. I really appreciate you. And every other person that's joined this program tonight, I want to say a very big, massive thank you to all, because without you, we cannot just come here and make noise every day. It's going to get boring. It's going to get really, it's not just going to get boring, it's going to get really boring after some time without your cooperation and your assistance in actually propagating what we're pushing out. Please, do me a big favor, share it now, share it later, share it tomorrow, share it next tomorrow, share it as much as possible. And I have a very good news to run past you guys. I don't know if you know about it already, but it will be a pleasant thing if you get to know this one. It's very, very exciting news. If you haven't heard about it, some of us has heard about it, but if you haven't heard about it, please make sure you learn a little bit of things today. If you want to know more about the work of the people, the Alliance now working to free, and all the other people that are working, there's so many other groups working. So, but about this program that we're doing, that we show today, is freedom, freedomfromnigeria.com. freedomfromnigeria.com. That is the website you need to go to, and you find everything you need to know on this site. They will show you everything. When I mean everything you need to know is actually on this very, very platform, and you can actually learn a lot of things on there. freedomfromnigeria.com. freedomfromnigeria.com is the website for this alliance. And I'm going to try and show it to you guys so that you know, if you see it, you just know where you are straight away. That is the site. That's the site, yeah. You need to go there. You can see everything that has been going on there, how things have been planned. The constitutional force majeure that was introduced some few days ago, that was the actual event that happens on the 16th of December. You need to actually visit this site because they make some 5.5 demand that were made to the federal government, so that we know. A formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria acknowledged the constitutional grievances and sovereignty dispute over now declared by the people of South and Middle Belt of Nigeria. A formal commitment by the federal government of Nigeria to the wholesale decommissioning and jettisoning of the 1999 Constitution as the basis of the Federation of Nigeria, as was done by the government of apartheid era of South Africa in 1990, to commence the process by which the apartheid constitution of the then South Africa was eased out. A formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria suspending further general election under the disputed 1999 constitution, since winner of such election will swear to and govern by that constitution. Then it goes further down to number 4, a formal initiation of a time-bound transition process to midwife the emerging of fresh constitutional protocol by a two-stage process in which the Constitution Regional Bloc will, at the first stage, they still ratify the various constitution by referendum, and in the second stage, negotiate the term of federating afresh as may be dictated by the outcome of referendum. And the last one, a formal invitation to the people of the South and Middle Belt of Nigeria to work out and place a transitional authority which shall specify the modalities of the transition process, including the commission and mandate of the transitional authority, as well as a time frame for the transition and other ancillary matter. And then you can go on and see more full text of the proclamation, whose name, who sign the constitutional force majeure. They're still looking for more signature. So if you go further down, you can see exactly how you can do things, how you can join them. And they actually raised a petition as well. A petition was raised to this effect. The petition is still ongoing, and today, because of this film, I hope you guys are gonna do me the honor. I want to acknowledge Doyin Oluderu as well, who is on the program as well. Daddy, I really give you two hands, one person. I really thank you for joining us tonight. It's been lovely. More people are getting awake by all this noise we've been making in the last few days. The petition is the one I really want us to emphasize. I want to see the figure. I want us to see the figure together, and I want us to push the figure up together, because this will be something that we will have to be doing on a daily basis until we get to where we're going. And if you really get pissed off with this thing you watch today, the information that you get today, if you're not happy about it, I think you need to do something about it. And one of the basic things that you can ever do about it is to get the link to that petition today and sign it. That is the only thing you can do today. We were trying to get that figure up to 600 in the last few days, but we've not been able to push it up to 600. So maybe tonight we can help me with the help of that video we watch. Maybe you can help me push that figure up to 6,000 rather. That is the petition. That is the petition. So if you have been touched, if you have been moved by that thing you watch earlier on, this is your time to take an action, take an action about it. If you have been touched by what you watched tonight, this is the time to do something about it. You need to do something about it completely. You need to do something. And what do you need to do? What you need to do is to get your pen out, get the link to the petition, and make sure you sign it tonight. Don't leave it till tomorrow. Like the church will say, tomorrow might be too late. Tomorrow, you don't know what tomorrow holds. Tomorrow might be completely too late. So the best thing to do is to sign that petition. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and pin the petition. I'm gonna pin the petition down to the thing so that everybody that wants to sign that petition can actually see the petition and sign it. It would be a big honor if I can have another 120 signature added to that petition tonight. I've just put the link to that petition on YouTube, so you can see the link to that petition on YouTube right now. I'm going to try and put it on Facebook as well, so that people can actually see. Yeah, if you really want to break it up, right, you need to sign this petition and introduce so many people, other people, to this petition, so that they can actually work on its jettison, as Tony Anamde we say. I don't know what the meaning of jettison is, but he's been saying it every day, so I think I'm used to him saying it. So it must mean something, do something about it. Maybe that's what it means. Oh wow, these guys are fantastic. Guys, I love you so much with all my heart. I thank you for that, because the Lord service tonight is on deliverance service. Yeah. That is true. It's actually deliverance, because we don't want to be enslaved by nobody again. I've actually just pinned that petition that somebody lovely has actually helped me. Let's start the process of taking that back our freedom, and that process is actually by signing that petition. Tonight I'm not going to keep it for too long. I've got two gentlemen who wants to, two youth who wants to start the process of this enlightenment, so that the youth can get involved. Not just all these gray hair people that keep assembling every day. We want to start seeing these youth doing their bits as well, because it's actually for them. It's actually for them. It's actually for them and our children that's gonna come later on. If you have not liked the program, hold on. I know a lot of people have been watching the program, but what I find out is that they've not been how will I say it? They've not actually been liking the page. You need to like the Facebook page. You need to like the page. So when we finish, go to the page and click like the page. Somewhere there. I'm sure it's somewhere there. And not only that, the YouTube as well, you need to subscribe to it. Make sure when you click subscribe, make sure you click the bell. It's true, my sister or my brother. It's true. It's true. Hold on, Fatah, are you sure I don't know you? Did you attend Bishop Grammar School? Or did any of your people attend the Bishop Grammar School? Because I think I know that now. I know you've signed. If you don't sign, you know I will have come and get you at home, Matthew. If you haven't signed, I will have been to your house. I've just shared the link again, guys. I really thank you for asking for the link. It's not too good to be true. It is what is there. Let's put the jigsaw. Let's put the jigsaw together. You will find out that what they were saying there is actually true. I'm going to bring Fatai Ogun Ribido back because this is my main man. This is the man that's always been with me through thick and thin. He's always been there to me. Fatai, you were telling me about this Nigerian breaking down Nigeria for so long, and I refuse to listen to you because as soon as I hear Nigeria, I just don't want to know. Tell us, how long have you been in this struggle?
Well, actually, I saw this enslavement long ago. Maybe, let me say, aided by my career as a journalist, I don't know. But instinctively, I've always believed that Nigeria has never existed. That it has been just a falsehood, it's been a scam, and just a fix for all the stakeholders seeing her as a place where they can just, use the entrapment as a sort of honeypot, coming there to lick the honey and just run away. And I think we have to be wondering tonight, if you are watching, look back to 60 years ago. What have we really gained as nationals of Nigeria? Look back to 60 years. Is this the way a nation runs? Let me come back to our immediate years. Since 2015 up to date, we remember that all the budgets came in quick succession. 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. Everything just, coming within a few months of each other. What have we really felt about it? Has there been that a budget has actually been taken, has been run for the nation? So we are just a nation being looted, because those who are looting the nation are those who have made it to happen. So the time is right now for us to actually wake up from our slumber and channel a new course for us. Otherwise, the future is very, very bleak for you and me. But God has actually created a forum now for us whereby we can do our agitation and let the entire world know that as a people, we are even worse than Palestinians. We have a place where we can say, where we can call our own, but we litter the entire world as South Nigerians simply because we don't have a nation. We are actually in a situation whereby we are even worse than South Africa under apartheid. Because right now, we are talking about man's inhumanity to man, as in the case of white against black. But in this case now, is a case of the black Arabs just subjugating us as real black people who are from the southern part of Nigeria. So the earlier we know this, the better, and the earlier we actually find a way to get out, the better. I know it's not going to be so easy, but fast remains. 5 years, let them hear. We are in an entrapment, and unless we take a move, there is no way anybody can take us out of it. And let me explain to you. Even the Europeans we are crying to, they are the people that are behind these people. They are not doing it alone. For instance, the recent budget that we have been having in the past years, we understand what has been happening, how the Shanghai Empire has been built, how rails are now being linked from northern Nigeria to Niger Republic, how Dubai is now being built in Niger Republic. So if those who are our stakeholders are having their nation and they are trying to build their nation, they're fighting for their people for the future, why should anybody blame them? It's because they take their own people, they take their own nation serious, and they want to build a good life for themselves for the future. So it is now left for us as Southern Nigerians to resist and make sure that we try to start our own way of rebuild our own life, the way they are rebuilding their own life. They like their people, they love their nation. That is why they are building it. The Shanghai Empire, the Empire, whatever they want to call it. But Nigeria does not exist. The nation is being looted. And many of them who anticipated this are the people that are actually asking for loans across the world, because they know that at the end of the day, when Nigeria now ceases to exist, nobody is going to be responsible for the loan. It's like when you register a limited liability company and the company falls up, the asset that is to be lost is only the asset of that company, not your personal asset as an individual. So by the time Nigeria now breaks up, so they are using us. They are destroying the future of Nigeria. Then Nigeria will come to an inevitable end. And what they are trying to do is going and begging to all these big nations to lend them money. The money being lent are not going to be paid, because automatically Nigeria is going to break up. And for that reason, they know what they are doing. Because what they are doing, they haven't got the courage, but they are only doing it because they think that, well, we are weak in the south and we cannot resist. And the more we are getting ourselves in that situation of not talking, the more they are taking the piece. I want to remind you that even prior to Jonathan's sort of installment as president in 2011, they've always been trying to find a way to make sure that they control everything. They even went to a table to say that, okay, certain positions needed to be held by them, otherwise they wouldn't allow Jonathan to rule. Just imagine how they are taking peace out of us as Southerners. And we can see that nothing has ever been given to us as benefits. Everybody's a government. You provide your own electricity, you provide your own water, you provide your own house. Nothing. What gain can you say that this government has given to you as a Nigerian? Tell me. What can you say you have benefited since you are born into this entrapment called Nigeria? Tell me. Nothing. So, if you're in a marriage for, if by the time you are 60, you are already gone anyway. But we are lucky as a nation. And we are procreating, generations are coming upon generations. Well, now, unless we take that bull by the on, in our 5 years, we're not even a nation that we can call our own as South Nigerians. So the earlier we try and recapture our destiny, the better for us. Otherwise, we may wake up tomorrow morning to realize that Nigeria is no more existing. So let us wake up and see that the future is bleak. And today determines our future. Please, South Nigerians, let us come together and make sure that we fight this fight. The petition is there. Please sign it. Let the world hear about it. And those that we are crying to, they are the people benefiting from this. So if we don't make our loud as bigger, as louder as possible, they may not even want to act. But we have to find a way to let them understand the damage they've done to our life, to our generations, to people. And South Nigeria, we've gone through a lot. Most especially we the Southwesterners. The slave trade was there. We know the stretch of Yoruba nation, stretching up even across to Shanghai Empire, across to so many parts of the coastal side of West Africa. It was stretching down to so many nations of the middle of Africa, even up to Kenya, up to Ethiopia. Yorubas are there. So you can imagine the anticipated the greatness of that nation, and that was the reason why they tried to make sure that they diminish it. They made sure that influence was cut short. And here we are today. What can we show as great as we are, as educated, as exposed, as well enlightened, as well so talented as we are? Where are we today? So let today determine our future, and let us know that we have no nation. Our nation needs to be established now so that we can start the process of development in southern Nigeria, both the Yorubas and the Biafrans.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We're going to take a short break because there are two information I need to pass on to you guys. On the 15th of January, there's an event coming up. On the 21st of January as well, there's another event coming up. On the 21st, there's two events. One is for the real sons and daughter of Yoruba land, and one is for the traitor. Please don't make the mistake of going for the traitor one. Make sure you will actually go for the real sons and daughters of Yoruba land. I'm not sure. I'm still working out the modalities. If we can actually live stream the one that is for the real sons and daughters of Yoruba land for both the 15th and the 21st of January, we will do that. Please, it is very important that we do everything we can do to make sure that we'll get there very, very quick. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Nigeria, jaga, jaga. Everything scatter, scatter. Nigeria, jaga, jaga. Everything scatter, scatter. Come on, they suffer, suffer.
Anyone who knows not where the rain starts to beat him will never know where it stopped. The Nigeria 1999 Constitution is the poison pill killing Nigerians every day, bit by bit. Because inside this Nigeria 1999 Constitution, there are 68 federal exclusive items holding the key to our development and progress in Nigeria. And the Fulani-led federal government has deliberately denied Nigerians progress via the power of that 1999 Constitution. For instance, in the 68 items on that exclusive list, the federal government holds the exclusive right to provide the people with quality electricity, water, good roads, good health care, and schools. But in all of this, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the federal government has woefully failed us. Taking down that evil book of Lucifer is the key to our development and progress. It is either we turn off the tap from which the polluted water of bad governance runs, or we continue to mope in silence forever. Taking down the 1999 Constitution is a task that must be done. So come on, join hands now with the Alliance Partners for the Movement of a New Nigeria, MNN, to kill the Nigerian 1999 Constitution.
Nigeria, jaga, jaga. Everything scatter, scatter. Come on, they suffer, suffer. Bossa, bossa.
This message is brought to you by the Voice of Liberty International.
Why you must go? Why you must go?
Heritage TV. La 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 la. Heritage TV.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.
Welcome back. I really appreciate your time that you've taken to actually listen to me tonight. If you have not liked the program, please try and like it as a matter of urgency. If you have not shared it, please make sure you don't share once, don't share 2 times, don't share 3 times. Take your time, share at least 20 times, especially to the groups. and you will find out that things will go better for us. My light is actually dying because I'm using the battery-powered light tonight. I'm going to give it back to Fatai Okunribido back again so that he can say, we watched the video, we've seen the film. What do you think is the next thing we need to do now?
I think Heritage has a duty to repeatedly broadcast this video because I can assure you that many who watch tonight have been delivered from their mental enslavement and the propaganda that is being drummed. As we have seen, many of our media organizations have been compromised, not because they wanted to be compromised, but the mere fact that, the system that we are operating is an authoritarian system whereby they have taken control of the entire system and they're blackmailing everybody and they're resulting into coercion and punishment and, even we are worse than under the military. And as we can see, the system we are having today, military soldiers on the streets, goes to show that we are not under a civilian regime. So that's another angle we have to look at it. So we have actually witnessed a sort of deliverance tonight, and unless somebody is so ardent and being spiritually unbalanced, tonight is a day that we have to take into consideration as a day of deliverance, because that lecture, as he said, it is everything about Nigeria, about the entrapment, about the scam, was narrated to us by Mr. Nadi, who has been so well blessed and so well preserved by God for the purpose of this deliverance. Because unless Nigeria breaks up, we in the South, we are in terrible situation, and nobody can argue that. We can see, whatever anybody is saying, we are in an enslavement, and there is nothing we can do about it. Earlier on, you were asking how this journey started, and now when I started, all the agitation. I remember that in the year 2010, I had my Facebook, in which I tagged as Yoruba Nation, and several people have lambasted me, insulted me in so many ways. Oh, why is it correct? But because I saw this vision long ago that Nigeria never existed. Maybe because of my background, I can't really say, but something kept telling me that unless we get out and knowing how we are as a nation in Yoruba land, and then knowing fully that we are a people so well endowed with everything. And when we are talking about about Nigeria today, what is the engine that is running Nigeria? It is both Yorubas and Igbos. In everything that we do, in sports, economic, academia, in every aspect of the technology, in everything, it's Southerners. But when it comes to financial gains, where does the finance go? Where does the money go? It's like Nigeria hasn't even got we don't have a balance of trade. The only thing that balances our trade are all the transfer that we make from abroad, from diaspora to Nigeria. Every other thing is seized by the authority, by the elite that has enslaved us. So what more can we say about Nigeria? It's a scam. We have to get out. Is this the way countries are run? Is this the way nations are run? What are people getting from it? Nothing. So we have to find a way. These are people that they don't have the same identity as we, who are both in the Western and it's part of the nation. Not the same identity. Southern Nigeria, we are commerce oriented. We believe in real individual development and encouragement. But right now, with the way everything is, the feudalistic system that is run in the north, we know they don't care. Even if millions are in penury and a single person is holding the entire wealth of the community, they don't care. And they're happy. So, but the way we are is different. So we have two different nations. We have to break out from the entrapment. Otherwise, there will be no future for us in the South. Well, let us just see how it's going to go. But we are just praying that that program tonight will enlighten us and give us the clue as to the reason why we have to cooperate and be under one umbrella as Yorubas, so that we can get out as soon as possible, so we can start our developmental process. Look across the world today. Whom can you see across the world? There is nobody outside of Nigeria that is happy. There is no Yoruba blooded person that is outside of Yoruba nation that is happy. Because wherever you are in every part of the world, you're a second citizen. You are second rated. Nobody recognizes you. So, and we are slaves in a different land. And imagine the education that we all had in Yoruba land. Now, that education is being used for the development and progress of other nations. Let us think now. Yoruba, ẹ jẹ́ ká ronú now. So all this common sense should be lived with us every day. If they say anybody loves Nigeria, nobody can love Nigeria more than I do. I've even for several occasions I've defended Nigeria even abroad. When I used to have columns in Prime People in the olden days, I used to defend that Nigeria is not corrupt. We are natural people. We are this. I've always been defending Nigeria. Nobody can say they are ferociously defending Nigeria more than I do. But it came to a time the reality was dawning on me that it has been a fake nation. And go back to our leaders. Many of those who have ruled Nigeria, they are Fulanis. And they were only conscripted into Nigerian military for the purpose of being imposed on us as leaders. They are not Nigerian blooded. So it's like the Europeans who made us knew where they were going. And Nigeria is bonded. Northern part of Nigeria, we know most of the nations on our side or on top of us as Nigerians. Let's see, we are Nigerians now. They are Francophone nations. And the Francophone nations are those that are creating this sort of problem for us. So it's like a conspiracy. They know what they are doing. And the Fulanis could not have done what they are doing in Nigeria today without the connivance with all the European nations. So this is the point that we have. We have to just come back to our senses and understand that once and for all, we have to get ourselves out of the entrapment. Tonight's lecture is really a lecture that I want Heritage to keep repeating. And if Mr. Nnamdi can even push that lecture to other stations, we know the conventional media may not take it up because of the threat by the federal government, but most of the social media that we are using, let all of them broadcast this every day. So if 10 people watches today, tomorrow another 10 is watching, even though those who watch today will still digest this more tomorrow. So and the bandwagon effect will come eventually, and we know we can gain a lot from that lecture. And I want to implore Mr. Nnamdi to keep doing more of what he did tonight.
Very, very great, Mr. Fatai Ogunbido. I really appreciate your passion and your wisdom, because you saw this long time even before I was even born. So I have to I have to say that. If you need a petition, please send me a message on my WhatsApp number. I will be willing to send it to you. We're going to have to do a video very shortly on how to sign this petition. And if you sign the petition, you still need to go to your email address to confirm that yes, you're signing the petition. Please don't just sign and think that is the end. You still need to go to your email address and actually sign, authorize the signing of petition there. I want to thank everybody on the show today. I want to thank people who are joining me for the first time. If you're joining for the first time, let me see you say "I" on the platform you're watching from. If you are joining this program, if you're watching everything for the first time, there's always a way to welcome the newcomers. So if you're a newcomer on this platform today, I want to see your hands up. I want to see you so that I can sing for you like they sing. You are welcome with the love of the Lord. Amen. You are welcome with the love of the Lord. We can see you, that joy of Yoruba land. Current day, bro. Today is... Are you serious? Oh my word, I'm so sorry, brother. So we've been going on for so long and we have a wrong date. Now you're the first one that you see. I'm not sleeping. I actually put it to the 4th. I'm lying. I didn't know it was the 4th. Yeah, I actually put it to the 4th so that I can see that you get it right, or you're gonna be sleeping as well. So that's the only man who is awake on this program today. I'm going to change that one quickly. I've changed it on YouTube. I'm going to change it on the screen as well. It's actually the 5th today. The year is running away again. When did we say Happy New Year? Some couple of days ago. And it's already number 5 already. God of mercy. Anyway, thank you very much. I've done that. I will do the one on YouTube, on Facebook later on. That's changeable anytime, and I mean anytime. So I want to thank everybody, because we're going to be closing the show now, so that we can start planning for tomorrow. We're going to be closing now. If you have not signed the petition, please sign it. If you sign it, please make sure you authorize it on your email address. This is why sometimes you have to have a working email address for you to see. someone said Yoruba will break the world record for the fastest developing nation in the whole world. Yes, we will, because of the amount of wisdom our people have. The people in the southern part of Nigeria have got so much wisdom, so they will break every protocol to be the fastest developing area. I want to thank Monitara. I want to start Fulani rules. I see. I didn't know that. Okay, thank you very much for that. So anybody that needs the memo, please, that need the petition, please send me a message on WhatsApp. I will be willing to send it to you. And within the next couple of days, we're going to have to do a video on how to sign the petition. We actually have a very, very comprehensive explanation on how the petition needs to be signed. So believe me, sincerely, we're going to do that in the next few days. On behalf of myself, Fatah Gribio, Anthony Nandi, who was actually here on that, who is the person you watched on that video, I want to say a very big thank you to you guys. On Friday, 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have Tony live. Not video this time, right? It's going to be hell answering your question. If you have any question, please start listing them down, because you will have the opportunity to actually ask the man the question right. You can look at him in the face and ask him that question straight in the face. I want to say thank you to everyone, the production staff here, the people who are working behind the scene in every part of the world, people who are pinning, people who are sharing. If you share the petition, your production staff as well, because you're doing something about it. And the people who, wherever you are, that you take part in this, that you share it, you're still a production staff as well. I want to thank you all for your effort, and I really, really commend you for doing what you're doing. It's a nice time having you guys on board with me today. Until tomorrow, when I come your way again, I remain loyal to you and to Yoruba land. I remain loyal to God as well, because without God, we are nobody. But with God, we still have to do our bit, because Jerusalem and Saudi Arabia, they are with God, but they still have to do things to make sure their country works very well. Until tomorrow, when I come your way again, don't have nightmare, and good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
Nigeria jaga jaga, everything scatter scatter. Come on, they suffer.
Anyone who knows not where the rain starts to beat him will never know where it stopped. The Nigeria 1999 Constitution is the poison pill killing Nigerians every day, bit by bit. Because inside this Nigeria 1999 constitution, there are 68 federal exclusive items holding the key to our development and progress in Nigeria. And the Fulani-led federal government has deliberately denied Nigerians progress via the power of that 1999 constitution. For instance, in the 68 items on that exclusive list, the federal government holds the exclusive right to provide the people with quality electricity, water, good roads, good health care, and schools. But in all of this, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the federal government has woefully failed us. Taking down that evil book of Lucifer is the key to our development and progress. It is either we turn off the tap from which the polluted water of bad governance runs, or we continue to mope in silence forever. Taking down the 1999 Constitution is a task that must be done. So come on, join hands now with the Alliance Partners for the Movement of a New Nigeria, MNN, to kill the Nigerian 1999 Constitution.
Nigeria, jaga, jaga. Everything scatter, scatter. Come on, they suffer. Bossa, bossa.
This message is brought to you by the Voice of Liberty International.
Why you must go? Why you must go?
Every everybody in London. Have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream. That was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.